The K-12 education model in America is actually outdated, and I would argue is actually part of the challenge that we see when we look at education in the big scheme of things. I will explain more in this series on today's episode of Education Revolution. Hello, my name is Amos Tarfa. I'm the director of LifeSTEM Academy, which is a homeschool hybrid program in Minnesota. And I'm also a math curriculum writer. I love to write resources that help students grow and flourish in their math knowledge, as well as tools for education and learning as a whole. I've written a book called Tools for Mastering Mathematics, which you can find in the description section, or you can email me at amostarfa1 if you're interested in amostarfa1@gmail.com if you're interested in reviewing my math programs. Today I'm going to talk to you about the American education system. I grew up in Nigeria. I was blessed to attend a very good school in Lagos, Nigeria, Federal Government College, Lagos. And today I want to talk to you about something that has been on my mind actually quite a bit this week, and especially today. I think that students should be graduating high school at the age of about 15 or 16. I think we need to cut out most of middle school, and we should increase college courses to 16 and 17-year-olds for those who want to go to college. Please note that I am all for trade school. I am all for other ways that people can get a career, whether they go to the military, and thank you to those who serve, whether they go to a trade school, apprenticeship programs, become entrepreneurs. I mean, that is an option that could happen, right, with capital and the right vision. But here's the catch. There is a detailed explanation for this that I would argue can be found in Sherry Frame's book. There's a book here called The Parent's Guide to Credits Before College. She has a very good explanation of how you can try doing some of this. She also has a nice grid that she gives you for making your transcripts for those who are homeschooled. For those who are homeschooled, there's a nice grid there. You can fill in a high school course, the CLEP course, the credits. Now, with her model, you could graduate college much quicker, more efficiently. Now, my take on this is me. Okay, this is my take, and you can look at it however you want. But here's the deal. So imagine you go from kindergarten to 5th grade, okay? You do a very good job in mastering the fundamentals, right? Parents invest extra time after school, helping that child to learn their facts in multiplication, division, the grammar rules, spelling. All those pieces are happening from kindergarten to 5th grade, okay? Then you get into 6th grade. 6th grade and 7th grade, okay, you focus hard on building on the fundamentals you've worked on. And so imagine you do your algebra in 6th grade, right? I have students who do algebra in 6th grade at our school because we found that the 4, 5, 6, 7, the math program in America, there's too much duplication. I've studied the math curriculum especially, but I've also seen the science curriculum. In Nigeria, we actually are given the option of skipping 6th grade, or at least we used to be given that option. So I never did 6th grade. You go from 5th grade to 7th grade. And in 7th grade, the workload of 7th graders in Nigeria, and I say this with all respect to my friends who have kids growing up in America, and I have kids growing up here as well. The 7th grade work in Nigeria is more rigorous than the 12th grade work in America. The 7th grade work in Nigeria in some courses is more rigorous than the 12th grade work in America. When I was in 7th grade, we had to take 17 subjects with 17 teachers and 17 notebooks that all had to be up to date without our parental involvement. 17 subjects with 17 teachers and 17 notebooks that were always up to date, tests that you're studying for without any parental involvement. That was how we studied back in Nigeria. Now I look at America, the middle school years, and middle school teachers, please, I'm saying this in with all kindness and respect, but I'm really sorry to break the news to you. A lot of middle school time is actually a waste of time. It's things that they will learn later and learn well. And sometimes it's things that, the kids themselves don't care about, right? So then you're there trying to deal with discipline issues and more of classroom management rather than actually teaching them things, right? If kids know how to add fractions and decimals in 5th grade or 4th grade, why are we teaching that again in 6th grade and 7th grade? Why aren't kids doing algebra in 6th and 7th grade, right? So I'm really sorry this seems like, wow, this guy's not happy with the American education system. Well, I actually think it's wasting a lot of people's time. And so that's why I want to give you a solution. I think you should take your K-5 and do it well. And then your 6th and 7th grade, you actually start doing some of the courses that you'll be doing in high school, such as algebra, geometry. You can start doing some of those. Now, the logical reasoning of geometry, some kids might need time to get there, and that's okay. But take 6th, 7th, and 8th grade and just focus on the next level. Like, do a little bit of biology. Yes, it's tied to life science, but let it actually be counting for something. I think part of the reason why our 6th and 7th graders, honestly, in America struggle with behavior and so on, is they're doing things in many ways that don't count for anything. You can get D's and be moved up to the next grade. In Nigeria, you can't, right? In Nigeria, you can't get an F in this subject in 7th grade and think you'll just be fine moving on. No, they hold you back for a whole year. So there's sort of these, reasons to apply yourself, to be motivated. But what do you do when you live in a culture that has so much stuff? You have so much stuff, and therefore the kids know that they have a backup plan if they fail. Well, that's not the case in many countries. But anyways, I've talked a little bit about the curriculum side of things. You focus on 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. You focus on high school, some of the high school courses you could be doing. And then in 9th grade, wrap things up with any high school specific requirements, right? I'll give you an example of the high school requirements in Minnesota and North Dakota. You have about 4 years of English, 3 years of math, they say, which is really sad. I think they need to be doing math all the way till 12th grade. But you have 3 years of math, 3 years of science, social studies, about 4 years of social studies. Why can't you do American history and world history in 6th grade at a high school level or in 7th grade if you want to wait that long? But anyways, you could get all the courses done. And I'll give you a video and document that could show more of the information. It is possible. It is doable. But it's not even the curriculum issue that really concerns me. It's the implication of delaying your career decision that really gets me concerned. And here's what I mean. In America, you are allowed to graduate high school without having a plan for what you're doing beyond high school, while you're sometimes told and inspired and encouraged to go to college when you haven't figured out what your plan for life is. Wouldn't it make sense to spend 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade taking care of anything that is related to high school requirement, and then 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade, focusing on college courses if that's the track you're supposed to go to, or trade school and apprenticeships if that's the track you're supposed to go to, and so on and so forth. Now, maybe for the military, it might not work until you graduate or you're 18, and that's fine, but at least you can be doing college coursework. You could be doing Western civilizations and CLEPing and getting the college credit for it. You could be doing the U.S. history CLEP test and preparation and CLEP it, or college composition CLEP. So to graduate college, you need about 120 credits. Students at our school are encouraged to CLEP as much as possible. You should easily be able to get 30 to 60 credits, at least for college, while you're still in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So by the time you graduate, quote unquote, from your traditional high school years, if you call it that, 12th grade, you would have had some opportunity to explore different fields of study to see if you want to go further to a traditional college to finish up courses in that field. Here's what I mean. So maybe you love history a lot and you do the CLEP history for World History 1, US History 1 and US History 2. Now you're in 12th grade and you realize, I really love learning history. Well, then go that direction. That's fine. I know there's a lot that has been said in this video, but let's try and bring it all together. Number one, the current K-12 model just does not work. It's inefficient. It's a waste of time. Number two, kids are way more capable than we give them credit for. Way more capable. But America has made it now where you've lowered the bar and the kids are literally living up to the bar that you've lowered, and they're not flourishing as they could. Number three, they're graduating without any idea what to do with their lives. And that's part of why at our school, between 6th and 12th grade, every year students do career assessments, personality assessments. That's the plan we're doing, where they can learn about different fields and see why they keep leaning to a certain field. And then we try to help them get job shadowing opportunities, which will then open doors, hopefully, for them later down the road because they have more experience, because they've job shadowed a lot, right? I want them to job shadow a lot and talk to people in different fields. So we need to increase the expectation, give them the tools to meet up with those expectations, but we should also help them to have direction to what they want to do with the lives they've been blessed with. We want them to be who God created them to be, using the tools they've been given. And you can start seeing those things at a young age. At the age of 14, the guy who started NVIDIA, he was saying how at the age of 14 or so, he knew he loved to tinker and he loved math. It just makes sense that he would go with engineering of some sort, right? So kids have tools that we can use to help guide them into different careers. And we need to be doing that before the age of 16 so that they can make a decision on what they're doing beyond that. This is what Nigeria does. This is what India does. This is what Germany does. Most countries do this, right? Why don't we do it here? Why are we allowing people to just keep wandering without direction for a long period of time? We shouldn't do that. Give them direction and the tools to flourish. There's a book by Vishal Mangwaldi called The Third Education Revolution. I'm sure we'll read it in our book reading series at some point. But this book has a lot of good stuff also, just reminding us of how we should rethink education. So in this Education Revolution series, I really want parents to rethink what they're doing and ask, why are we doing what we're doing right now? Are we helping our son or our daughter to have some direction? And if somebody says, if your daughter says, hey, I want to be a homeschool mom, I want to homeschool my kids, there's nothing wrong with that. But before you start homeschooling your kids, of course, you have to first get married. But before you get married, you have to live life, right? Have a job and do things, right? And so what are the things you want to do before that time comes? That's the way I would look at it. Now, a parent had brought this up to my attention, and that's why I'm bringing this up now. So anyways, I am not mad at anyone necessarily. I'm just very sad that we still follow a K-12 system that is very inefficient, when instead what we should be looking at is how can we help you efficiently get to where you need to get to, give you the tools to pursue the careers, do job shadowing things. I mean, in our school now, which is, we have the hybrid, but we do have a full school option, we're limiting it to 4 days a week at the most, because on Fridays, we want students, well, one, it just worked better for our staffing, but actually there's a better reason. The better reason is, even if we had all the money in the world, we don't want to have a 5-day school, because we want Fridays to be a time for students to go on the job and learn, journal about what they're learning. That's the approach I want our students to have. Really, 16 years old is a good time to be able to say, I'm committing to this direction. If you need to pivot, that's okay. That's fine. In America, you can do that. But why not have direction to start? I think this will solve our middle school problem, where we have a lot of unruly kids who are not listening, who are unruly, who are causing trouble, because they don't have any direction. How can you tell a person to go to nowhere and expect them to behave? Kids need direction. We need to show them that the 6th grade can count, the 7th grade can count, but we need to bring the high school, some of the high school learning opportunities to the 6th and 7th grade. We can make it fun. We can make it exciting. I'm not saying we should be testing kids all day. I'm not saying you should do what they did to some of us growing up, but it helped us, of course, grow. But I'm saying make it fun, but make it count and make it relevant to what they need for their lives in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And then 10th, 11th, and 12th grade should really just be college courses that are taught with the right worldview perspective, and students are able to have dialogue. That's my take, and that's what I think. America needs to go from a K-12 to a K-9, and then 10, 12 is college. And then if you need to do further college after that, you go from there. So our students should be graduating college at 18 or 19. That's what we should be seeing, not what we see right now. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to subscribe, like, and share these videos. I have detailed explanations I can give you on all of this, but I just wanted to start the conversation saying, hey parents, examine what you're doing right now. Your kids might be wasting their lives. Let's stop doing that. Let's give them a chance to flourish with the gifts God has given them. Take care and God bless.